Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. For those who are new to the channel, my name's Sean, also known as Film Guru, and I started this channel having my say in particular movies and TV shows and a variety of other film content, so thanks for joining me today. Today I'm reviewing the new Scream. It's directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olphin and Tyler Gillett. Stars Jenna Ortega, Melissa Barrera, Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and a variety of others. The film takes place 25 years after the streak of brutal murders shocked the quiet town of Woodsboro, California. A new killer dons the ghost mask and begins targeting a group of teens to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. Well, that's what it's about according to IMDb. Now, before I begin, I'm a huge Scream fan. The original Scream that came out in '96 was one of the first sort of slasher films I watched that I really liked. And I've been a big fan of it ever since. And even though I've enjoyed the sequels, there's been none of the sequels have come up close to the original until now. I think this is the best sequel that we've got so far. I think it pays homage to the original film, but also evolves and becomes its own thing. It breathes fresh air into this sort of franchise that's been a bit stale for some time. And it's a breath of fresh air in a lot of ways, and I love that about it. I think Matt and Tyler have done a brilliant job here. I was a big fan of their first film, Ready or Not, and I felt watching that they could do a Scream film, and here we are. A really intense and powerful film, and I really love what they've done here. It's taken there's a lot of references to the previous films, and there's a lot of talk about it, and it's all kind of meta within it, which I really liked, but it's also doing something different. It sort of has a dual focus. Yes, we look at Sydney and Gail and Dewey, but we also look at the new characters, Sam and Tara, these two sisters who are estranged, but they kind of are trying to reconnect due to this really horrific thing that happens. And their story becomes more of the focus, which I think was really good. They needed to do something different. I've been reading a lot of positive reviews, but I've been reading a lot of people talking about how they should have focused more on Sydney and why wasn't she more involved in all the original characters. And to me, it's like, because they needed to do something different. Did we really want another Scream where there's a masked killer trying to kill Sidney Prescott? No, we needed something different. We needed her to be there to sort of pass on the torch in a way, or we needed her to be there to feel connection to the original films, but we needed something different, and this film absolutely delivers on that. I must admit, I enjoyed it much more the second time round. I did like it the first time. I was really impressed with it, and I liked it a lot. There was just issues with it I didn't love, but upon the second viewing, all those issues I had made sense, and I enjoyed it much more. I picked up on a lot more what was going on. Even though I knew who the killer was, it still had certain aspects that I really enjoyed. And I think for people who didn't like it the first time, just give it another go, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I think the acting's solid here, especially from the original characters, Neve Campbell and David Arquette and Courtney Cox. I think the new actors do a solid job as well. I think Jenna Ortega is really great as Tara. She's an actress I've really enjoyed. I've only seen her in a couple of things, the TV show You and Babysitter Queen Bee, but I've been really impressed with her. She has a presence. There's something about her that makes her very believable on screen. And especially when we first meet her in the opening sequence, I think she's really great throughout the film. And I like the bond between her and her sister, but I felt like she could have really been the main focus of the film, but there was a reason why they did what they did. Melissa Barrera, who plays Samantha, I liked her in this. She's a bit unconventional, a little different, and this is like sort of her second sort of film, I think, in a way. And I'd only seen her in The Heights, and that film doesn't really set up what she could accomplish, and that she'd be a really good choice to play heroine in a horror film. But I think she does really well here. Especially on my second viewing, I got much more out of her character. And I just felt a bit more connected to her in the way she wants to protect her sister, but also wants to work out what's going on. She's very strong, much like Sydney was in the original film. I think Mason Gooding, who's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son, is subtle and has some fun moments as well, and he plays one of two twins with Jasmine Savy Brown, who's really great. She plays sort of like a Randy-esque character. She kind of knows what's going on. She's very funny and unique and adds a lot, and she's one of my favorite characters, and I like what they do with her. Jack Quaid's also in this, who plays Richie. I like him. There's something about him reminds me of Joshua Jackson. I don't know why, they don't really look alike, but it's just their acting style, I think. And I thought he was good here too as well. He added something interesting, different, and I thought I was impressed with him. Besides Mandy, my favourite character in this film and story arc is Dewey. David Arquette captures this character so well. He's played this character in 5 different movies, and this is a pinnacle for him. I think they don't play him as such a bumbling character as we've seen in the previous films. He's sort of burnt out, he's kind of not the man he used to be, and he has to find a reason to fight, and I like that. And I like how he's all about trying to help people, and they really capture that. And he has a really great scene in the hospital, which I really loved. I thought I was really impressed with his performance here. And I just really loved Dewey. I think they did him a great service here, and it was good to see the original characters all come back. There's some really great sequences throughout. Like I mentioned, there's a hospital scene that's fantastic. The whole thing is really, really great and well executed. The opening sequence, like you expect in a Scream film, is really, really well done. It's sort of reminiscent of the original film, but it adds a little technology aspect to it and makes it a little different, and I kind of like that. There's a sequence that takes place in a house that sort of creates a lot of suspense and things don't unfold the way you expect. And I really liked that. I thought this whole sequence was really good. It was filled with a number of great set pieces and sequences that I loved and scenes that really stood out to me. And I think it has much more standing out scenes than all the other Screams combined, and I love that about it. I like they kept you guessing till the very end who the killer was, and I thought that was really great because I didn't know who it was or which character I was meant to be looking at and thinking about. And that's what the film kind of does. It throws this idea out there. It could be anyone. You don't know who it is, but it could be any one of those characters could be the killer. And I think that's a really great way to go about it. I thought Ghostface was fantastic in this. Relentless and strong and just really brutal and just went for it. The killer killed who they wanted to kill, and they were aggressive about it, and it was a very intimidating Ghostface in this one, and sort of very powerful, strong and smart, and had a clear plan of what they wanted to do and executed that plan in a brilliant way. I think it's the most intense Ghostface that we've had so far, and I was really impressed with that as well. And of course, the third act of the film, the last couple of scenes are fantastically done as well. It's really smart what they do with this film, and I think it elevates something that we've seen probably many times into something unique and different, and I like that. And I'm so impressed with what they were able to accomplish here. It just felt really great. This is one of the best films. This is on my top 10 already because I loved it, and like I mentioned, I saw it twice and I enjoyed it so much more the second time. And I'm sure I'll enjoy it more and more as I see it more. It's definitely worth checking out. If you're a Scream fan, you definitely need to see this film. Final thoughts. In the end, this film is just trying to do something different. As the Mindy character explains in the film, this is kind of a requel. It's not a reboot and it's not a sequel. It's somewhere in the middle. It pays tribute to the original films and has legacy characters in Gale, Sidney and Dewey. But it also is a reboot in a way that we're focused on different characters this time, and not the legacy characters we've seen throughout all the other movies. And it just makes it much more engaging and interesting. And it needed to happen. This is something that needed to happen. They needed to take in a new and fresh direction, and I think they really did a great job with that. I'm going to give Scream 2022 4.5 out of 5. I really love this film. I thought it was well done. Matt and Tyler have done a brilliant job, and I really love the execution of this film and what they've been able to do with the Scream franchise. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe down the bottom and follow me on Facebook and Letterboxd. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.